You're listening to How to Drink Less, and I'm your host, Adriana Cloud. Whether your goal is to cut back, take a break, or say goodbye to alcohol for good, this podcast will help you stop drinking on autopilot, learn how to manage cravings, and feel fully in control around alcohol. It's easier than you think. Listen on to find out how. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the fall vibes, or at least there's fall vibes when I'm recording this. And fall is my favorite season, so I, for one, am not complaining. Today we are talking about restriction. I hear this a lot from people. I don't want to quit drinking because I don't want to feel restricted. And I get that. No one wants to feel like they're putting themselves in a cage or living a life that's somehow less full or less vibrant than the lives of others. But what if that feeling of freedom that you're clinging to when you drink is actually the restriction? Let me explain what I mean. This is what we think freedom looks like. To be able to drink whenever we want, as much as we want. We think that freedom means having no rules whatsoever, being spontaneous, saying yes to whatever is in front of you. That's certainly what I used to believe, that freedom basically means I get to do whatever I want. But let's zoom in a little closer into that whole construct. Because is it really freedom if you feel like you have to drink in order to unwind after a stressful day? Or you have to drink in order to tolerate dinner with your in-laws, or to feel in the mood for intimacy with your partner, or to tamp down social anxiety in order to go to the PTA meeting. Is it really freedom if you can't go to an event without worrying about whether there will be alcohol there and how much alcohol? Is it really freedom if your brain is constantly negotiating? Should I drink today? How much can I have? Will people notice if I top up my glass? Is there enough wine at home, or do I need to stop at the shop on the way back? Does the guy at the store remember that I bought 3 bottles last night? That's not freedom. That's dependency masquerading as spontaneity. And what makes it tricky is that it doesn't feel like dependency in the moment. In the moment, it feels like you're the one choosing. Like, I'm choosing to have a drink because I deserve it. Or, I'm choosing to bring a bottle to the party because I know what I like. Or, I'm choosing the 4th margarita because I'm an adult and no one else can tell me what to do. But the truth is, if it doesn't feel optional, if it feels like something that you need to do in order to feel okay or to enjoy yourself, and if it feels like a need, then it's not really a free choice, is it? If it feels inevitable and unavoidable, then you're not truly exercising your free will. You're acting out a conditioned response. And recognizing that is a really important step. Let me tell you what my own inner monologue sounded like back when I was still drinking. I spent so much time every day thinking about alcohol and making deals with myself about when I could start drinking, how much I could drink today, why I was allowed to make an exception and drink more than my original plan, why my drinking wasn't really that bad because at least I wasn't drinking in the morning or showing up to work drunk, and so on. And that was just the everyday sort of chatter that ran through my mind. There was also the actual procurement of alcohol and all the planning that went along with that. I always knew exactly how much alcohol was in my house, and I often worried about whether it would be enough to last me through the night. I'd better get another bottle was a constant refrain in my mind. I'd better get another bottle just in case, which involved a lot of planning and leaving the house when I didn't want to leave the house, including one night walking to my local convenience store at 1:30 in the morning because I drank everything else in the house and I still wanted to drink more. And then there was also the calculations that went on whenever I had plans with other people. Would there be alcohol there? Would there be enough alcohol? But what if other people didn't drink? Sometimes, worried that I'd be deprived, I'd have a drink before leaving. If I was going to someone's house for dinner, I would bring booze to make sure that there would be enough for me to drink. And sometimes, depending on the event and who was there, I would leave early so I could go back home and drink in peace where no one could keep an eye on how many drinks I've had. Does that sound like freedom to you? Because it's really not. That's alcohol being in charge and dictating where I went and what I did. If you've ever tried to cut back, I'm sure you've noticed just how much brain space alcohol takes up, so you know what I'm talking about. When you're honest with yourself about it, there's so many ways that alcohol limits your life. These quiet, subtle restrictions that most of us don't even recognize at first, especially if we've gotten used to operating that way. And because alcohol is everywhere and so socially accepted, and because most people around us drink, it's easy to normalize these compromises. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it's not a problem. I promise you, there is nothing normal or liberating about needing a drink to feel okay in your own life. We're so worried about the restrictions that come from not drinking, but it's worth asking, in what ways has alcohol been restricting you without you even realizing it? Once you start paying attention, you won't be able to unsee those restrictions. As you contemplate what real freedom means to you, you can think about freedom from and freedom to. On the one hand, we have freedom from. That's freedom from hangovers, freedom from the decision fatigue that comes with negotiating with yourself and your rules every day, freedom from regret, freedom from wondering if you embarrassed yourself last night in front of your partner's coworkers, freedom from relying on a liquid in a glass to get through the day. And then we have freedom too. The freedom to go to any event without obsessing over whether they'll be serving alcohol. The freedom to put out your recycling without worrying about how many wine bottles are in there. The freedom to drive straight home from work without worrying about how much gin is left in the bottle on the counter. The freedom to trust your own choices regardless of what other people around you are drinking. The freedom to say what you mean and remember the conversation the next day. The freedom to be yourself and not feel like something is missing. Because while you're obsessing about what you might be missing out on if you stop drinking, you don't stop to ask, what if alcohol is making you miss out on the real you? A lot of people worry that they will lose their sparkle if they stop drinking, that they will be boring or uptight or no fun at parties. But the version of you who doesn't need alcohol to loosen up, that's not the boring version. That's the braver, more grounded version. That's the version of you that's truly in your power. You don't have to perform fun, you just get to be present. That's the real you. You don't want restriction, I get that. But don't confuse being tethered to a habit with being free. Those are not the same thing. I want you to start recognizing that alcohol is holding you back from your true range of feelings, from real connection with the people you love and care about, from mental clarity and focus and creativity, from feeling healthy and energized, from waking up rested, from the peace of mind that only comes when you trust yourself and when you have your own back. Real freedom isn't just the ability to say yes to a drink whenever you want. It's the ability to say no without fear. It's the ability to live your life without needing alcohol to take the edge off, or to make annoying people tolerable, or to be the glue that holds everything together. Real freedom is you being in charge of your own life, not alcohol calling the shots. So next time your brain says, I don't want to feel restricted, I want you to ask, What's really restricting me right now? Is it the idea of quitting? Or is it the constant cycle of wanting, craving, planning, drinking, shaming yourself, and vowing to start cutting back again on Monday? When you face the truth that if alcohol doesn't feel optional, then it's not really a free choice, that's when you can start to reclaim your real freedom. Not by pouring another drink, but by taking your power back. If today's episode struck a chord with you and you're starting to question what freedom could look like for you, I have something that will help you to take the first steps towards change. It's a free guide I created called 7 Steps to Kickstart Your Sobriety. And whether your goal is to take a break, to drink less, to quit completely, these steps will walk you through the exact things I teach my coaching clients to help them get clear and stay committed and feel more in control. It's not about white-knuckling your way when temptation strikes. It's about creating freedom from the inside out by getting to know your drinking patterns and learning to respond to your cravings differently. And this guide is the best place to start. You can grab your copy, the link in the show notes. It's totally free, and it might just be the first domino that changes your whole life. Take good care, and I'll talk to you next week. If you're looking for practical advice for how to say no to alcohol and say yes to yourself, you will want to get on my email list. Sign up to receive my free guide with 7 steps to kickstart your sobriety. The link is in the show notes, so go and grab it now, and I'll see you soon in your inbox.